Coronation Street drops major twist as Maggie accidentally reveals shocking family secret. Coronation Street served up a dramatic twist on Good Friday as Maggie Driscoll let a huge secret slip during an emotional confrontation with her son Ben, revealing that the man he grew up believing was his father may not actually be his biological dad. Maggie, played by Father Ted star Pauline McLynn, arrived on the ITV soap late last year alongside Ben, his partner Eva Price, and grandchildren Will and Ollie as the family took over the Rover's return. Since arriving in Weatherfield, the Driscoll family has found itself at the center of one explosive storyline after another. Most recently, they have been caught up in the controversial plot involving Will and his teacher Megan Walsh, whose inappropriate relationship has sparked growing concern, with strong suggestions that it began while he was still underage. Viewers also previously saw a dramatic flashback episode set in Maggie's home country of Ireland, where it was revealed that she had accidentally caused the death of her husband, Alan, during a heated argument when he fell down the stairs. Although the full fallout from that revelation has not yet played out on screen, Friday's episode shifted the focus back to the current family chaos as Maggie attempted to force the truth out of Will. Fans will know that Megan, who announced she was pregnant shortly after Christmas, later claimed Maggie had physically confronted her and caused her to miscarry. However, it was later revealed during a therapy session that Megan had actually chosen to have an abortion sometime earlier, meaning her version of events was far from the full truth. Determined to uncover what was really going on, Maggie cornered Will in the back room of the pub and pushed him for answers. She tried to appeal to his emotions, telling him she believed his feelings for Megan were genuine and suggesting she understood what it was like to fall in love with someone she should never have fallen for. Maggie also pointed out that if the baby truly was not his, then he would not be grieving the way he clearly seemed to be. Despite her attempts to get through to him, Will refused to open up. Later on, Ben was furious after learning how aggressively his mother had handled things, and the pair ended up in a fierce argument. As the row escalated, Ben brought up his late father Alan, only for Maggie to react with unexpected anger. In a moment she clearly did not mean to reveal so openly, Maggie snapped that Ben had no idea what kind of man Alan really was, and accused him of siding against his own flesh and blood. The comment instantly stopped Ben in his tracks. Realizing what she had just implied, Maggie tried to backpedal and brush it off, claiming she had only become flustered because of the cruel things Ben had said to her. She insisted he had confused her in the heat of the moment and accused him of making the whole situation worse by wishing her dead. Ben, however, was clearly rattled by what he had just heard and told Maggie to stay out of the entire situation before she stormed out. As the dust settled, it became obvious that her words had planted a serious doubt in Ben's mind. Later, Ben opened up to Eva about the strange remark Maggie had made. Although Eva attempted to distract him and calm him down by pouring him a brandy, it was clear Ben could not shake the feeling that his mother had just revealed something much bigger than she intended. And now, with suspicion beginning to grow, it looks like Maggie's long-buried secret may finally be on the verge of coming to light. Coronation Street viewers have labeled a long-awaited storyline twist as underwhelming, after one young couple discovered they are actually related. The storyline first began to take shape back in October, when newcomer Maggie Driscoll was left visibly shaken after spotting something unusual inside Ken Barlow's house. At the time, the moment ended on a cliffhanger, leaving fans wondering exactly what Maggie had seen and why it had affected her so deeply. Now, in Sunday's episode, the mystery was finally explained, and it all came down to a photograph that exposed a major family secret. During an explosive confrontation with her son Ben, Maggie ended up letting slip that the man Ben believed to be his biological father was not actually his real dad. It later emerged that Maggie had uncovered the truth months earlier after seeing a photo in Ken's home and immediately recognizing Ben's real father. Despite knowing the secret since the Halloween period, Maggie chose to keep quiet and bury the truth. However, everything changed once she realized that Ben's son Ollie and Amy Barlow had started seeing each other romantically. Faced with the reality of what that meant, Maggie was left with no choice but to finally reveal the truth. The shocking discovery means that Ollie and Amy are actually cousins. Eva turns on Leanne in Coronation Street as Will Rowe explodes. Tensions boil over in Coronation Street next week when Eva storms into the bistro and unleashes her anger at Leanne after accusations involving Will spark a bitter family fallout. At the heart of the drama is Sam, who is clearly becoming more distressed and increasingly convinced that Will is deliberately trying to get to him. But while Sam is certain something is wrong, those around him are far less convinced, and that difference of opinion soon sends emotions spiraling. Trouble is already brewing in the cabin, where Leanne and Toya clash over how to best support Sam, especially when the conversation turns to whether he needs counseling. Although both women want to help him, it is obvious they are not in agreement about what he really needs. Elsewhere, Will attempts to calm the situation by approaching Sam in the bistro and offering what appears to be a sincere apology. Sam reluctantly accepts the gesture and even shakes his hand, but it is clear he remains deeply uncomfortable and far from convinced that things are truly okay between them. If anything, the encounter only seems to leave him feeling even more unsettled. Later on, Sam confides in Hope, admitting that he has been reading up on grooming cases and is beginning to piece certain things together in his own head. It is a troubling sign of just how anxious and fixated he has become. When Will later appears, Hope does not exactly help matters, taking pointed swipes at him with comments about his much older girlfriend. Before long, the situation becomes even more confrontational when Sam challenges Will directly, accusing him of trying to intimidate him and making it clear that he is not going to be bullied into silence. However, Will is quick to switch tactics and present himself as completely innocent, all while Liam happens to be there to see the exchange. Back at home, Will wastes no time in giving Eva and Maggie his version of events, insisting that Sam is simply inventing stories about him. And for Eva, that is the final straw. In full protective mode, she marches straight to the bistro and rounds on Nick, Toya, and Leanne, furious that Sam is being allowed to make what she sees as completely false claims about Will. She makes it very clear that she has no intention of standing by while her family is dragged through yet more chaos. The confrontation quickly turns explosive, with Leanne taking the brunt of Eva's fury. Although Leanne is only trying to stand by Sam and support him, Eva is adamant that the accusations against Will are unfair and baseless, turning the whole thing into a deeply uncomfortable showdown.